entitled The Intellectual Bond Between Goethe and Schiller, The Concepts of Nature, Aesthetics, and Freedom, aims to explore the philosophical and literary dialogue between two of the most influential figures in German and European culture, highlighting their vision of the individual, society, and art as tool for human development. Goethe and Schiller, despite coming from different both personal and intellectual backgrounds, developed a deep intellectual connection that gave rise to Weimar classicism, a cultural movement that saw a synthesis between rationality and emotion. In this research, I focused on three main concepts: nature, aesthetics, and freedom, which form the core of both author's thought and creative production. In the first chapter, I outlined the historical and philosophical context in which Goethe and Schiller developed. 18th century Germany experienced deep political and cultural transformations. The Enlightenment, Pietism, Sturmdrang, and then Romanticism all shaped the intellectual landscape of the time. I paid particular attention to the influence of Immanuel Kant, Lessing, and the early thinkers of Sturmdrang. But Kant's philosophy, especially his idea of the limits of human knowledge and the centrality of reason, was especially important for Schiller, while Goethe instead incorporated some aspects of Kant's thought into a more organic and nature-oriented worldview. In the second chapter, I analyzed the concept of nature in Goethe's and Schiller's work. For Goethe, nature is a living organism, constantly evolving, and it is both a source of poetic inspiration and scientific investigation. In works like Elective Affinities or Faust, nature is not merely a background, but more so of a dynamic force influencing human emotions and relationships. Schiller, by contrast, views nature as the starting point from which humanity must emancipate itself through reason and artistic expression. His philosophical approach highlights the dual impulses in human nature, the sensory one and the rational one, which find harmony in art. In the third chapter, I focus on their aesthetic philosophy and concept of freedom. Both authors see art as a tool for education and personal growth. It is through aesthetic experience that the individual can develop critical thinking and reach inner freedom. Goethe expresses this mainly through the Bildungsroman, or novel of formation, such as Wilhelm Meister's Apprenticeship, where the protagonist finds his place in the world through personal growth and self-reflection. Faust can also be interpreted as a journey toward self-realization. For Schiller, aesthetic education is at the center of human development. In his letters on the aesthetic education of man, he argues that art enables the synthesis of reason and emotion and leads the individual through moral freedom. In the fourth chapter, I explore the similarities and differences between Goethe and Schiller. Goethe's approach is more empirical and observational, grounded in real experience and nature. Schiller's thinking is more idealistic and systematic, focused on constructing a philosophical framework that places art and beauty at the center of human emancipation. Despite this difference, both authors pursue a balance between form and emotion. This intellectual synergy is evident in the epistolary exchange beginning in 1794, which represent a profound philosophical and aesthetic collaboration that gave shape to Weimar classicism. In the conclusion, I reflected on the relevance of their ideas today. Goethe and Schiller offer us a model of productive intellectual exchange, showing that different perspectives can complement each other and generate new cultural synthesis. In a time marked by alienation, hyperconnectivity, and loss of critical thinking, their shared vision of freedom remains remarkably timely. Ultimately, the intellectual bond between Goethe and Schiller is not just a chapter in literary history, but more so a broader mediation of the role of art, philosophy, and culture in the shaping of a more conscious, just, and free society.